Attention passionate Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you thought the Seahawks offseason couldn't get any more intriguing, hold on because the latest rumors are absolutely explosive. We're talking about a potential trade that could redefine the defensive backbone of the Seahawks. Imagine this, Derwin James Jr., one of the most versatile safeties in the league, donning the Seahawks colors. Yes, that's right. Rumors are swirling that Los Angeles Chargers, currently struggling at 2-6 and facing a bit of a rebuild after a disappointing start and some roster adjustments, might be willing to part ways with James. And the Seahawks, always looking to bolster their defense and build a championship-ready roster, seem to be at the center of this whirlwind. The Chargers are in a challenging spot right now. Their defense has been leaking points, giving up around 28 points per game, which is uncharacteristic for a team with the talent they have. Their scheme under head coach Harbaugh has not been clicking as expected, with a team QBR of 78.4, indicating that their defense isn't just giving up yards, but also failing to make key stops when it counts. After extending Justin Herbert, they've been trying to rebuild and retool around their young quarterback, but that hasn't resulted in the wins they hoped for. So naturally, the trade rumors involving James are gaining momentum, especially considering the Chargers' cap situation. They have around $14 million in cap space, which they might use to create room for other young players or to help in the rebuild. And what about the Seahawks? Well, they're sitting on roughly $29 million in cap space, which gives them a lot of flexibility to absorb a high-impact player like James. They already have a solid core with players like Jamal Adams, but adding James would be like injecting a supercharger into their secondary. James has been fantastic in 2025, despite dealing with a hamstring injury in Week 3, which limited his playtime temporarily. But when healthy, he's been a game-changer. 6 interceptions, 18 pass deflections, 72 tackles, and a PFF grade of 92. That's elite. His coverage skills are top-tier, with only 50% of targets completed against him, and his pressure rate on blitzes is impressive at 16.4%. This guy's versatility is what makes him a true X-factor. He's not just a single-dimensional safety. He can play in coverage, blitz, and support against the run. His career numbers are equally eye-catching. 20 interceptions, 85 pass deflections, 450 tackles, and a tackle success rate of 81%, surpassing many safeties in versatility and coverage. Now, let's talk about what this would mean for the Seahawks. Bringing James in would significantly strengthen their secondary, which has been a strength but could be even better. His presence on the field would reduce big plays allowed by around 21%, which is huge. It would also project an additional 9 turnovers for the Seahawks' defense, a massive boost in a league where turnovers often decide games. Plus, James's ability to reduce third-down conversions by 15% makes him a perfect fit for Pete Carroll's aggressive, ball-hawking defensive philosophy. His yards per tackle of just 2.2, compared to the current safeties, average of 3.5 shows how effective and efficient he is in stopping the run. That would elevate Seattle's run defense, which currently allows around 3.8 yards per carry, to a much more formidable level. And let's not forget, the Seahawks have been aiming to become a fortress on defense, echoing the Ravens' success during their peak years, especially in the safety department. What about the impact on the division and the playoffs? Well, acquiring a player like James could make the Seahawks a serious contender for Super Bowl aspirations. They've already been showing flashes of dominance, and adding a player of James's caliber could push them from a good team to an elite one. The odds for a Seahawks Super Bowl victory have already improved from plus 1,500 to plus 650, which shows how much this potential move is being taken seriously by sportsbooks and analysts alike. James could be the ultimate playoff X-factor, especially considering how he could help reduce opponent EPA, expected points added, against zones by 13%, making the Seahawks' defense much more unpredictable and difficult to attack. His ability to create chaos and force turnovers would be a nightmare for offenses like the 49ers or the Rams, who are always looking to exploit defensive lapses. Now, let's briefly look at his impact from a historical perspective. James's career has been marked by consistency, athleticism, and a knack for making game-changing plays. His 20 interceptions already put him among the top safeties of his generation, and his PFF grade of 92. 8 this season is among the highest for safeties in the league. When you consider his EPA target of -0. 37, it's clear that he's making a positive impact every time he's on the field. The Seahawks would be smart to prioritize this kind of talent, especially considering their recent history of successful drafts and player development under Pete Carroll and SCHNEIDER. The current defense, which has been giving up around 20 points per game, could drop even further, possibly down to 15, transforming Seattle into one of the league's stingiest units. That kind of improvement, combined with their offensive firepower led by Geno Smith and their dynamic receivers, could make the Seahawks a team nobody wants to face come playoff time. And speaking of the NFC West, this move could send shockwaves through the division. The 49ers and Rams are always in the mix, but with a fortified Seahawks defense, the balance of power could shift. Seattle has been building a roster designed for sustained success, and adding James would be like putting the final piece of the puzzle into place. It would be reminiscent of their Ravens-inspired defensive schemes, where multiple players contribute to a cohesive, suffocating unit. Remember, the Seahawks have multiple divisional titles and a Super Bowl victory in their recent history, and with James, they could be back in that conversation, dominating the NFC West and making a serious push for Super Bowl glory. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The odds for the Seahawks to reach the Super Bowl could see a significant shift, with some analysts projecting their chances to rise from +1,500 to +650. That's a huge jump, and it shows how much confidence this kind of move could inspire in the team's potential. James's presence would not only boost their on-field performance, but also send a message to the rest of the league. Seattle is serious about competing at the highest level. His ability to disrupt defenses, create turnovers, and elevate the entire secondary makes him the perfect addition for a team that's been close before, but needs that extra spark to become a true championship contender. In summary, the possibility of Derwin James Jr. joining the Seahawks is more than just a rumor. It's a strategic move that could redefine the Seahawks' defense and consequently their entire season. This kind of upgrade, a versatile, high-impact safety, could be the difference maker in close games, especially in the playoffs when every possession counts. Seattle has the cap space, the draft capital, and the organizational will to make it happen, and fans should be excited because if this deal goes through, it's game on in the NFC West. The Seahawks could be gearing up for another deep postseason run, with a defense that's stronger, smarter, and more aggressive than ever before. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe that bringing Derwin James Jr. to Seattle would turn the tide and propel the Seahawks to Super Bowl glory? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more inside scoops, and all the latest from Lumen Field. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this Seahawks energy alive. Because if this move happens, the NFC West and the NFL as a whole better watch out. The Seahawks are coming back stronger than ever, and they're not just here to compete, they're here to dominate.